Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome back to my meadow. In this video, I am going to share with you how I transplanted my Moringa. During a recent garden tour, I showed you the Moringa in the pot and it was tilting over and I didn't know exactly why. And so after the garden tour, I came back and tried to put it back in place and I heard this crazy cracking sound. And what I discovered was that the Moringa had actually grown through the pot and then established this giant root bulb underneath the ground. So once I moved it, I realized it definitely had to be transplanted because it was dying. When I shot this video, it was a really rainy day, but we have enough footage for you to see the process, what I accomplished, and I even have some success video to share with you at the very end. So let's go transplant a Moringa tree. I think I hit clay. Gray clay, white clay. That feels like clay. Huh. I always thought there was a clay layer under there. There we found it. I think I've gotten to the bottom. Let's go take a look. It might be hard to see, but it's sort of whitish blue down in the bottom. I think I've definitely hit the clay layer here. I'm going to try to get the edges out just a little bit more so I can put some pieces of wood down there to give the soil an opportunity to create some fertility underneath. The rain has picked up again, so I need to put the camera back into a sheltered place. Now, some of you may have noticed this log that is out in my yard. It's been here for quite a while now, almost a year. And I've just been letting nature do its thing because I hope to harvest this to use in the different garden beds. And today I'm going to harvest some of it to go in the bottom of planting the Moringa. And before I just stick my hand in here, I want to just pull some pieces away by using the shovel. I'm probably going to shovel it in to the cart. So if there are any little friends living down in there, I won't accidentally get my hands on them. Woohoo! My first wagon load of debris, deadfall, decaying log to go in the bottom of the Moringa tree. Oh, beautiful wood, and I even have inside of there, I saw 5 or more beautiful worms doing their thing for nature. We already see this is filling up with water and it's not draining. So it's exactly why I want to add wood to this as well. Bottoms up. Fantastic. Fantastic. And this is the beautiful part about putting this wood back down in there. We are introducing life into the soil in that area. Regenerating the soil, making it good for the Moringa and all the other things we eventually plant around here. Now, I have never tried anything specifically like this in my garden before, but I feel like it's very similar if I were going to make a hugelkultur mound. And so I have primarily decayed wood here, and then I am going to probably get one more load of the wood and then transplant that tree into the center and let the rain today water it in good, and then start adding a little bit of nutrients. I have some cow manure and I have some worm castings that I'm going to throw back in here, along with all the lovely worms, at least a dozen so far, that have made the trip from the log on the back of the yard. One thing I've definitely learned over the years, if you're transplanting something this large, go ahead and set it into the hole you're transplanting in, so all the dirt and things and the lovely fertility that's already in the pot can stay in the hole. So I'm going to try to pull this out and see what I get here. Because it keeps raining sporadically, I keep having to put the camera away, the phone away, so sorry about that, but thank you. I used my shovel and clipped off the last little bit of the root, and I gave this a few good twists, and it looks like it's going to come on out pretty easily. Oops. Oh wow. Look at the size of that root. Look at the size of that root. That is fantastic. I'm also going to make sure I put all of the dirt that's here into the hole as well. Wow. Who would have thought that much root was in there? So it turns out I have 2 moringa trees. Now I need to get some good soil to fill in around the edges and some more of those wood chips and logs to go with it. Let's go see what we can round up. I'm going to remove some of the Great Garden soil here and put it around the edges of the moringa. I think this will do just the trick. And bonus, it's really close. All right, one last load of dirt, a little lopping, and we are done. I had to put the camera away because it was just raining too hard, and I wanted to get finished with this. So I put the tree in the ground with the bottom of the trunk as upward facing as I could. The other thing that I did is I made sure that I put this in the ground facing the sun in the same direction it was while it was in the pot. The only thing I have left to do now is to come back and saw that off right there at the bottom. And I'm going to try to go as close as I can down where the curve is beginning. So maybe I'll keep it a foot above the ground, and we'll see how this begins to spring back to life. And for this test, I am going to be testing out the Silky Big Boy 2000. I read a lot of reviews. I needed a hand saw, a pruning saw for the garden, and so this is what I chose. Some of you may think, why am I not using loppers on this? Number one, I don't have a pair of loppers that are big enough to cut the tree on the right or the branch on the right. Number two, I am 5.5 months after having shoulder surgery, and I am under doctor's orders not to do any kind of work like that. So we're going to give this a try. Press that to open. All right, here. That made very light work of that, didn't it? And here. I didn't even have to speed that up. That only took a couple of seconds. All right, of course, anytime you use a saw like this or anything else, you want to make sure you clean up those teeth and don't put it away dirty, because you will regret it later. I am going to use just some fresh water to clean out the blade. In fact, I might change it to a stronger. I'm also not going to put it and fold it back wet. I will dry this up and lay it out to dry before I close it back. It's been almost a month since transplanting that moringa. Let's take a look and see how that tree is doing. I would say mighty fine, mighty fine. We have new branches growing out of all different sections of the tree. And the longest one is more than a foot tall now. My friends, I would call this transplant success. Thanks for watching the video, and if you have any comments about how I might have done this better or something that I could have done to make it a little easier, I certainly welcome that. Feel free to put those in the comments below. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear a high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day.